There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about Sound Art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.
Live from Rockingham, North Carolina, we welcome race fans one and all to the RD Designs 130 here at the Rockingham Speedway. Hello one and all, and welcome to the OMSRL XFinity Series, sponsored by Tucson Sound Art. My name is Nola Rempel, and once again, I'll be bringing you all of the coverage from flag to flag from this beautiful 1 mile speedway over here in Rockingham. It'll be a fun race tonight. It should be a very intense race tonight, though, as these guys get set to race through Thunder Alley. It should be a very exciting 130 laps getting set on up for us there. At this point, who knows how this could end up playing out. This could prove to be one of the more entertaining races we get on the OMSRL XFinity Series season. Taking a look at the championship standings entering tonight's race, Michael Kenner currently leads the way still by 19 points, the highest driver without a win yet. Grant Peterson only 20 points back from Michael Kenner after he has had a very solid night for himself. Currently finds himself with 3 top 10s on the season, along with 2 top 5s. Still looking, though, for a race win. Next driver out would be that of Kyle Munson. Looking down towards the team's championships, Badger Racing has overtaken All-America Motorsports at the top of the boards, but it is only by 1. It is a close fight at the moment at the top of the team's championship, with All-American looking to close on up behind the next closest driver, TI Racing, back there with just 19 points. So qualifying is very much underway at the moment from the Rockingham Speedway. Currently, Matt Rucci finds himself working his way around the racetrack. And I tell you what, it is some fast laps that are being put down here. Sub 20 seconds. Matt Rucci had the time to get a second lap in. Looks like he is not going to be able to do so. Colby Wells, meanwhile, well, he might have the potential to get himself a better run. Wells at the moment the only driver out there on the racetrack, currently rounding his way around through turns 1 and 2 as he looks set to try to put down a solid benchmark time for himself tonight. We'll see where this opening lap will put Wells, and if he will be opting to go on out and put down a second flying lap as well. And at the moment, that first lap going to be good enough for P6. And Will he have the opportunity to get himself another time logged? Unsure if we'll we'll have the time to get the time logged. Unsure if he'll be able to improve on his time, though. And will this be an improvement? It will not. Still 6th place then for Colby Wells in the number 45 TI Racing Machine. We got 2 more drivers that have entered the racetrack, the likes of Kyle Munson and Robert Peterson. Munson just went second fast, but he got up and into the outside wall. So he is up in 10th place. Robert Peterson sits 17th and is trying to put himself a little bit further up the order in his AMD Radeon Ford Mustang. And will be able to improve up to 12th place for the number 97 car. So for the All-American driver, he'll be able to find himself with a solid outing. Finds himself now 10th fastest out there. Kyle Munson just having a bit of a run there into the inside wall. Can't necessarily say I blame him. Wasn't exactly the qualifying session of dreams. But hey, there will always be races further out. And obviously being fast on a 2-lap pace isn't everything when you get down to these 130-lap races where you can really find yourself having a rough time just trying to get yourself sorted for the remainder of this race. Qualifying is complete. And we will swing things on down now for your starting grid for tonight's running of the RD Designs 130 from the Rockingham Speedway. It's Matt Rucci on pole with Anthony Musatti beside him on the front row, so the 2 Badger teammates are going to line it up beside each other. From there, it is All-American Motorsports and Kenner Baker Racing. Hunter Thrower and Michael Kenner lined up 3rd and 4th. Spencer Ray is down at 5th with Colby Wells for TI Racing in 6th. Ryan Dingler is in 7th with Brad Prenger for Inconsistency in 8th. Grant Peterson is in 9th with Kyle Munson in 10th. Kevin Cordall sits 11th with Robert Peterson down in 12th. Moving on down through the order, you got Nate Brody and Sean Kaiser, row number 7. Row 8 holds Bear Morton and Logan Hamilton. Carson Hill is 17th with Kyle Green at 18th. Jacob Noyes is in 19th with Justin Wilson in 20th. Jonathan Baker will start 21st with Stefan Purcell rounding off the grid in 22nd place. So it should be an interesting race then for us here tonight as we get set to get things underway here from good old Rockingham Speedway. It's one of those races that could prove interesting for some as we look set to try to work our way up and through. And I have to say, one of the drivers that more caught me off guard from not qualifying was actually the likes of your last place starter, Stefan Purcell. We'll see if we can't dial up Stefan for a brief moment before this race gets started. Stefan, this is Nolan Rempel up here in the booth. You got a copy with me?
How you doing?
Doing mighty well. Saw you didn't put down your qualifying laps, but you got a long 130-lap race ahead of you. How are you feeling about it?
I'm just trying to avoid the initial start mess.
I kind of figured that was going to be the case. Usually when people start at the back, that tends to be what they're going to go through. You haven't made too many starts so far in the OMSRL, but I know you're about to get going here, so I'm going to just kind of let you get through this quickly. Where do you expect yourself to be finishing by the end of tonight's race?
I'm just planning on staying on the lead lap. That's my main goal, but I would like a top 10.
Humble main goals, and I have to say, I think those goals are definitely ones that you can work towards. Well, thanks for joining us up here, Stefan. We'll let you get back to it.
Thank you.
Stefan Purcell started from last place. Don't often get to talk to drivers prior to the race starting, but sometimes when you get that little bit of extra time, you are able to kind of fiddle around a little bit with what you can and can't do in between the race session getting kicked off. Meanwhile, Matt Rucci is going to be leading the field through turns 3 and 4. Pace car is going to be pulling down and in, and it will be in the hands of Matt Rucci. So from the RD Designs 130, and for the Rockingham Speedway, it's time to go back racing for the OMSRL XFinity Series, sponsored by Tucson Sound Art. Rucci leads the first lap to green. Hunter Thrower working underneath Colby Wells in the number 45 TI Racing Machine as the 83 car looking to work his way around the racetrack. We're single filed all the way back to the field. Didn't take long for this field to get itself sorted. Rockingham is one of those tracks that is very difficult to pass, especially if you want to initiate it around the inside lane. You have to be so careful with how you make these moves. You see Spencer Ray snake to the inside of the 83, and the Go Spenny Mustang will complete that move through turns 3 and 4. Oh, trouble! Kevin Gordall hooked by the number 1 Nate Brody. He slides in front of traffic. 360 spin. He's gonna save it. And we're under caution for the first time tonight, as Kevin Gordall finds himself getting into the outside wall. Gonna take a brief look back here on how this incident got itself sorted. This was coming around through turns 1 and 2. Saw him try to stake to the inside of Grant Peterson, wasn't able to make it. Nate Brody looks to the outside and just hooks him in the left rear, and that sends Cordall sliding to the outside wall. I think the 51 car there just barely got a piece of that of Brad Prenger, so that is unfortunate for the 51 car, but there is obviously going to be chances later on in the race to get all of this sorted. We'll take one more look at this, and then we're going to get a look on board with Barrett Morton, who was right behind all of this when this all went down. There you can see the hook, and Morton scrambles. Prenger does collect the outside wall, but good job on the field to get around that and make sure that nobody found themselves getting into any kind of serious incident there. That could have been much worse for a lot of the drivers in this field. On board with Barrett Morton. Got a face full of this one. Watch this as he runs his way down out of turn number 2. Sees the wreck developing, scrambles low, and everybody else behind just follows him through. Oh, he actually, okay, hang on. All right, we've had a second incident here with the likes of Nate Brody and Bear Morton. So we're going to back this up again. And this time we're going to follow along with Brody here on this one. Watch Cordall. He's going to get collected right here. Into the outside wall. He slides. Morton goes down low. I think couldn't turn. Got up in the apron. Brody didn't leave him room to rejoin. He collected the outside wall. And Morton did indeed go for a small slide, but it looks like it was nothing too major. But we find ourselves under the yellow flag for the first time today in the RD Designs 130. This is going to be a race where attrition might dictate where you finish as opposed to your actual race pace out there, just because of how difficult it is to overtake. Should be getting the 1 to go signal this time by. So you can already see Musadi lined up on the outside. He wants to go. Lights out aboard the pace car. We get set to go green flag racing this time by. Your top 5 looking to be Rucci, Musadi, Wells, Kenner, and Ray. Nate Brody way in the background, scrambling just to catch up with the rest of the field, but he will be able to get there well in advance before they get to the green flag. Pace cars in the pit road. Rucci launches, and we are back to green flag racing. A great launch there from Rucci. Musati caught unawares. Wells snaking to the inside of the number 49 car, who has a bit of a technical issue right there, as Hunter Thrower and Spencer Ray do get out right behind. Here comes Kenner looking to make a move as well, but there's no room for him to throw his nose in there. So Ray and Thrower working at it. Peterson trying to set up a move on Ryan Dingler as well. As we are now truly back to racing this time around, and this is where it'll get a little bit more hectic, and it's not going to be long before we reach that stage 1 break, coming up at lap 45 with only 24 second laps thereabouts. It doesn't take long for these laps to tick away. We're already a quarter of the way through the opening stage. Logan Hamilton trying to fend off Brad Brenger, who was collected in that first caution. And he clears 51. Robert Peterson wanting to make a move as well. And the radial machine not able to get a run on the, well, Chevrolet, I guess you could say. Chevy Square. I don't know what to call that one. Oh, look out. Peterson losing control at a turn. Number 2 went down to the inside line. Jacob Noyes also in a fight with Kyle Munson, who's going to go to the top side. And now Noyes losing control as he clips the apron and loses several spots. As a result, he'll lose out potentially here to Nate Brody and Kevin Cordall. And in fact, he will. So Noyes falls all the way back to last place on the racetrack. I'll tell you what, Noyes is not having a fun time out there at the moment. Hunter Thrower trying to fend off Ryan Dingler. Thrower gets into the wall. Hang on to it. Dingler sneaks through to pick up the 6th position. Now Grant Peterson's up the inside in the High Point Supra. All drivers single filed in a processional line throughout the field, and this is what we'll be seeing for the most part. Only these 1 or 2 scraps here or there. You saw Peterson try to look to the inside of Prenger, but got covered off big time on the inside line. That's not going to stop the radial machine from taking it to the 51 anyway, as they run down out of 4 in towards turn 1. Not able to capitalize on the move, though. It's just so hard to be able to carry that momentum, and you have to always be on your game. It looks like Peterson might have him here, though, looking for the inside. Dives to the inside. Prenger gives it up into turn 3. Robert Peterson is through to 11. Now only Logan Hamilton stands in his way of a top 10. Battle for third currently up on your screens battle for first currently on your screens between Rucci, Musati, and Wells. All 3 of these drivers separated by only about half a second, as Wells gets to the inside of Musati's Badger Race machine, and Musati lifts early, gives it up to him. You've also got the likes of Michael Kenner, Spencer Ray, Ryan Dingler slowly closing in on Musati as well, making it a bit difficult for the 49 car to get away and continue to play defense for Badger Racing against Colby Wells. Well, I guess it would be offense by now, seeing as how Wells' lead is, or for second place at least, is pretty fairly established. Peterson wants another one, looks to the inside, a thrower, washes up the track, has to brake early as the Exalta Chevy really pinned in the Mustang, but that's not going to stop Peterson from taking the fight to the Rainbow 83. Lunge over the inside of turn 3. Can he get this one done, or is he going to have to wait for another round? I think he might have to wait. Thrower still carrying that momentum around the outside line, and he will clear in the run down to turn 1. He's not going to wait around for too long, though, as Peterson looks to the inside here, trying to get around the Exalta 83. Got Brad Prenger and Kyle Green waiting in the wings as well, as Peterson once again throws it to the inside line. Can he make it stick into 3 and 4? Doesn't look like he can. Thrower's really good on offense around the outside line, but it looks like Peterson might be down on defense. Look out, Prenger scrambling as he gets into the outside wall. He'll lose spots to Sean Kaiser and Kyle Green. Meanwhile, Peterson completes the pass on Hunter Thrower. Is now set to try to drive away with that one into turns 3 and 4. Prenger looking high, wants to regain some of that lost ground. Going to be looking to chase down the number 24 machine of Sean Kaiser. Just saw Logan Hamilton get around Barrett Morton. That was for the 8th place up on the racetrack. While we rode on board with Prenger, you saw that move completed into turn number 3. Hamilton was clear by the time they got off of 4. Spencer Ray has caught Ryan Dingler as Dingler looks to want to hang on to that spot there. Looking and working that wheel as he struggles to hang on. He pulls alongside a Dingler into turn number 1. Washes up, I think, a little bit of side-to-side contact, but they're able to hang on. Ray clears out of 4. And back through Thunder Alley, Spencer Ray picks up another one. He moves into the 5th position on the Tucson Sound Art timing boards. Kyle Green looks like he might be finished waiting around as well. You saw him make a little peek to the inside of Hunter Thrower into 1. That's kind of given a bit of a go-ahead hurry up to Hunter Thrower to see if he can't get around Robert Peterson. Oh, look out. Thrower sliding out. He's able to save it. Was there contact there? We'll have to wait and see on that one. I'm not sure if there was any contact there, but there very may well have been. We'll look on board. Oh, there definitely was a big shot to the back of Hunter Thrower. You saw the damage to the left rear. Oh, and Kaiser's washing up. Wants to get by Kyle Green, and Munson will follow suit. But it looks like the J-Concepts was not able to look successfully to the inside of Green, but Kaiser just blazed through there, and he now finds himself running 12th. fairly broad spread of drivers at this point throughout this field as we continue to round our way. Kaiser inside, oh, not quite. Thought he was going to look for Hunter Thrower, but he opted against that one. And all the while Rucci continues to log laps, he has led every single lap so far, looking like he wants to try to go for another one. Kaiser to the inside of, Thrower to the inside of Peterson. He'll just get through maybe, not quite. Still fighting it out. The 97 car is able to hang on. Kyle Munson also just got by Kyle Green. All that was going on, but Robert Peterson starting to lose speed. In his AMD Radeon number 97 Ford Mustang. Kyle Munson on the charge, watches up as he sends it into turn one. And once again, Munson getting a little bit crossed up with Peterson. Kyle Green now back in the fray as he looks to try to battle back around the outside lane of the number 8 car, but I think Green's playing it a bit safer at the moment. He's not making too many bold moves, but Munson is certainly defending against him nonetheless. A bump to Peterson from Munson. The number 8 car getting a bit impatient, and he even gets a bit sideways out of turn number 2 that last time by. Sean Kaiser to the inside of Thrower into turns 3 and 4. Not able to successfully execute the pass. Hamilton might have a better shot, though, against Ryan Dingler, and he does. So Hamilton moves his way up to 6th. As well as that, Michael Kenner just overtook Anthony Musati for 3rd. 2nd, pardon me. Fairly simple pass there. Just lunged it up the inside, and that's all she wrote. And Kyle Munson is doing a great job on controlling the pace of the mid-pack here. He just went to the inside of Robert Peterson, was able to take the spot away through 1 and 2, and doesn't look like anybody back here really has anything for the BSR machine. Something tells me that at the moment, Kyle Munson has been conserving his tires throughout the entire first half of this stage, and that is what is allowing him to have so much pace for the second half. Oh, Kyle Green's getting antsy right to the back bumper of Robert Peterson. I think he did get into him just slightly. Ain't nothing like a little good old bump for short track racing as Kyle Green wants to find a way through. It's the fight for 13th place. This is not even for stage points. Speaking of stages, we are 5 laps left to go in your opening stage on the night before we will give away 10 bonus points to, well, let's be honest, it'll probably be Matt Rucci. Morton to the inside of Peterson. Can he get clear out of 4 or 2? Yes, he can. So he's going to take that one away. And Kyle Green finally moved Kyle Munson and will blaze by out of turn 2 as well. Hunter Thrower and Sean Kaiser are really the last pairing in a thick scrap with each other. And this will be the battle for the last stage point up for grabs. Kaiser's really racking them on up here, and this is going to get interesting when we get down to these final 2 laps. How bold do you want to be to go after some extra stage points, or do you want to just think big picture? Kaiser doesn't look it, though. 2 to go, and Kaiser rear ends Thrower off of 4. Kaiser working to get around Hunter Thrower here. Can he get something on him? We're in the final lap. Kaiser's going to look to the inside. This is for the final stage point. Washes that. Not able to get there, though. He's going to try it again, though, in turn number 1. Rucci is off of turn number 4, and he will win the opening stage on the night. The battle still raging on for 10th place, though. Kaiser to the inside of Thrower. He won't be able to get there, though. Hunter Thrower will take the last stage point. Matt Rucci, though, will win stage number 1. Caution flag is out for the second time and for the first stage on the night. We'll be back in just a moment.
SoundArt introduces an entirely new way to listen to music in your home by combining the best of 2 products, a revolutionary high-fidelity, low-profile Bluetooth wireless speaker with beautiful artwork. Select from a library of artwork or upload your own photos to personalize your experience. SoundArt ushers in an era of invisible, beautiful, and amazing sound throughout your home and redefines your entire entertainment system. The need to reclaim your floor space and rid your home of unsightly speaker boxes that need to be bolted to the wall is now a thing of the past. Our canvas is printed on high-quality permalite by Breathing Color. And select from our gallery or upload your own. Standard sizes include 16 by 20 and 18 by 24 canvas wrapped. Custom sizing is available, as well as surround sound options.
The OMSRL XFinity Series tonight's presentation is brought to you by Tucson SoundArt. Your art never sounded so good. And by RD Designs, proud sponsor of the RD Designs 130 from the Rockingham Speedway. Under caution for the first time tonight here as we continue to kind of log our way away, and this is where it'll get a little bit more interesting as Rucci will be the first driver, unsurprisingly, off of pit road. So with first round pit stops complete, we are going to go in car with the number 88 driver, and we will see if once again we can't find a way to potentially dial on up your stage 1 winner, Matt Rucci. Matt, this is Nolan up here in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you dominated that stage, led every single lap. Do you plan to do a repeat on that one and the rest of the race?
Yeah, I mean, the car feels good. I got a new wheel, so it's feeling good. It's something to learn, and I honestly think it's helping me a lot here, so looking forward to the rest of the race.
Seems like Rockingham definitely seems to be one of your tracks that seems to suit you. Nobody's been able to really get close to you, especially later on in the runs. Do you think that's accurate, that Rockingham is a track that really fits your style?
Yeah, you know, going into this race, I thought it would be a little bit of a struggle fest, but you know, we still got a long way to go, but I think we're looking good.
And well, before I let you go then here, Matt, to get back to work, anybody you'd like to shout out for your Badger Racing 88?
Yep, Ryan, who makes all the schemes, and Badger Racing.
And thank you for taking the time to join us up here tonight. Congratulations on the Stage 1 win. Hopefully you'll be having just as much of a dominant performance throughout the rest of it.
Yes, sir.
That was Matt Rucci, Stage 1 winner on the night, as we continue to log laps under this latest caution period. Lights just went out aboard the pace car. Meaning we go green this time by. An eventful opening stage, then we'll see how these last 80 or so laps will play out. Pace car cruising through 3 and 4. Pace car ducks in. And once again, we're back to green. Michael Kenner getting the drop on the restart on Spencer Ray, and his High Point Mustang wants to find a way through. Spencer Ray not going to take that line down, though. Lunges for the inside of Michael Kenner. So you got 3 different teams, all with race wins this season, scrapping it out for race wins. Badger from All-American, from Kenner Baker. This is going to get tight here. These guys get too much close to each other. Ryan Dingler and Colby Wells battling against each other through turns 1 and 2 as well, as we rocket our way back down Thunder Valley for the 52nd time today. The Rooftop Bar Tools number 45 Chevy doing a good job to work on that inside lane from the Alsco Supra. Tell you what, I am hoping that Ryan Dingler gets a good result tonight. He has been screwed over in just about every single race he has entered so far this season. He needs a good win. Jacob Noyes way to the inside, though. He got sideways out of turn number 2, able to save it, pushes up the right in front of Kyle Green. We're going to look back to Sean Kaiser and in his All-American Motorsports Chevrolet as he looks to the inside of Ryan Dingler. Will complete the pass. But Dingler's able to keep that car pinned to the bottom as Nate Brody now wants to find a way through. Ryan Dingler getting freight train here early in stage number 2. Washes up, though. He threw it in too hard there. Carson Hill making an unscheduled pit stop here into pit road. A lot of damage on the back end of the number 54 machine. I wonder if he picked that up at some point on the racetrack, and I think this might have come from way earlier, but yeah, so that all came from earlier in the race. Not sure where that damage came from. Hill is out of it, though. Carson Hill wanting no further part in the race tonight. He is going to find himself down and out of the fight as we continue to log laps in the RD Designs 130. Spencer Ray not able to close up on Matt Rucci, but is not losing any time either, and I think that's crucial. If you could just stay with him, you can always hope that he'll make a mistake and you can find a way to sneak up the inside. Kyle Green and Jacob Noyes both to the inside of Brad Prenger. Hunter Thrower trying to follow through. The 3 for 3 not going to happen, though. So like Ryan Dingler, Brad Prenger seems to be losing a lot of speed in early doors here for stage number 2, as he is now sitting between the two girls in a Leaf Chevrolet and the Exalta Chevy. Oh, gets a bit close and personal with the outside wall of Thunder Rally. That lets Hunter Thrower kick the door open on the inside line into turn number 3, and not able to complete the move. And you can see the outside run even through the tri-oval here. Springer up on the outside line. He is going to get clear and finally loses the spot to Hunter Thrower. Meanwhile, way up the road, Matt Rucci has lost some more time to Spencer Ray. They are both about a second and a half clear from Michael Kenner at the moment. It's an ever-fluctuating gap, but it does look like the Go Spinning Mustang is definitely caught up to the Badger Racing 88. Still got battles a bit further down in your field here, looking particularly to Robert Peterson and Ryan Dingler, who are both still nice and tight with Stefan Purcell in the mix. Purcell started all the way back in 22nd place. He has worked his way up to 11th. He has gained the most spots out of anybody so far today. Well, tied for it with at the moment with Logan Hamilton, but he's all the way up in 5th. We are 64 laps in, about to be 65, and that means we are halfway home in your RD Designs 130. So why don't we take a quick moment to, well, never mind. I was going to say let's take a moment to run down to the field, but we got this battle first with Peterson and Dingler. Dingler collected outside wall galore, and Peterson will look to the inside, taking full advantage of that. Still peeking forward, not going to get there, though. So we'll take a rundown quickly through your field. Matt Rucci is up in the race lead with the likes of Spencer Ray. You've got Michael Kenner down in 3rd. Musatti sitting all the way back here in 4th with Logan Hamilton in 5th. Colby Wells is in 6th with Sean Kaiser 7th. That puts Nate Brody in 8th. Ryan Dingler is 9th with Robert Peterson in 10th in the battle for 9th place. That is so far the closest battle on track. Stefan Purcell and Graham Peterson are in 11th and 12th, with Kyle Green way back here in 13th, followed by Jacob Noyes. They got Hunter Thrower minus 12 spots for the Exalted driver down in 15th place. Kevin Cordall is in 16th, with Morton 17th. Munson, Prenger, and Wilson round out the top 20 drivers, with Carson Hill once again down and out of tonight's race in 21st. Jonathan Baker still having not made it to the racetrack. Taking a look at races up and coming next week, we will be having an off week, and then from there it is a 5-race dash straight through to the start of the playoffs. We started off at Chicagoland for the Windy City 150, then it's Mid-Ohio for the Go Spenny 127 kilometers, and then Darlington for the Eagle Tile 140. Richmond is up next for the Kart City Performance 160. Wrap it up with the Sergeant Junket 150 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Kevin Cordall has been trying to make moves as Jacob Noyes will snake to the outside, trying to keep Cordall at bay. Barrett Morton is in the fray of this as well, with Kyle Munson tucked in behind as well. Oh, Cordall slides up, just avoids Noyes. And that will let Munson's Sergeant Junket Chevy get to the inside of Cordall. And it looks like, yep, Munson's going to tuck in line here. Sorry, that was Baron Morton in the number 9 car that was attacking Cordall, although Munson's about to get right up there with him. So Baron Morton is now into 60. Whoa, hello, where is Jacob Noyes going? Noyes slides way to the inside. Gonna get another look at this one. You can already see he's way low on the racetrack, lower than I would have thought he would have been. Let's look at this again. This is, maybe we'll have backed it up a bit far here. This was back on lap 72, I think. The actual incident itself came on lap 73. So we are gonna have to wait a little bit for this to come around, but we don't have any ongoing position swaps currently taking place on the racetrack. If we do, we'll cut back to it. Way up the hill to the outside wall, and has he just lost it? Oh, no, he hit the wall. No wonder he went so far down low. He almost rebounded back into the inside wall. Still got Ray and Rucci in the mix of this. So far, this has been the cleanest race on the entire season so far. But that being said, still more than enough time to make something happen here. So tell you what, while we are just watching things cruise around, why don't we take a ride on board with some of these drivers in this field? Let's go back to Robert Peterson, who is right behind Ryan Dingler in the battle with Nate Brody for what is currently 8th place on the racetrack. So just, of course, when I step away, that's when all the action starts to kick off, doesn't it? That is just like my luck here. But you saw Kyle Green get up and by Nate Brody and Grant Peterson. Hunter Thrower slip back a couple of spots. Hamilton is closing in, or Hamilton has actually overtaken Anthony Musatti, and Matt Rucci still finds himself under fire from Spencer Ray. We continue to work our way around here, as this will be no doubt an entertaining race ahead of us as we look set to get tonight's race sorted. It's honestly one of those things where you have to kind of play your cards carefully. You're never quite sure what's going to come about in a race like this. It's so volatile all the time with a track like this. Hunter Thrower, you can still see wriggling around a little bit, wants to find a way around Grant Peterson. Behind, Stefan Purcell still tracking down Kyle Munson. A lot of these guys have separated into their own individual little battles, and that's where they're going to be staying for the time being. We have not yet seen green flag pit stops. I expect we'll be seeing those possibly within about 10 to 15 laps if they don't wreck first, as Kyle Munson out of shape on corner entry. And Purcell able to get the drop on him, and Spencer Ray almost caught up to Matt Rucci there for a hot minute. Thrower looking into the inside on Peterson. Peterson's looking high on Brody. Who's going to come out on top? Are they going to go 3 wide? They're going to try for 3 wide. Thrower way to the bottom. Brody covers off Peterson on the top shelf because he knows that Thrower won't get the speed on the bottom. It was Peterson that was the threat, but now that's going to be Hunter Thrower. Brad Pringer into pit road. And Thrower is through. Race leader Matt Rucci is in, so is Spencer Ray and others. So green flag stops are very much underway. It's going to be really interesting when all these guys decide to potentially come down and pit all at the same time. You'll have to watch pit road. It's a very, very tricky pit lane to get down onto. Oh, and that was a bit of a pinch there from Peterson to Nate Brody, who backed off and let the 52 High Point Supra have it. Didn't want to risk fighting that one out too much. Colby Wells was on the offensive against Anthony Musatti, but he's going to come down to pit road instead. Michael Kenner losing out to Kyle Munson there as Munson unlaps himself. That's the difference from old tires on fresh tires at the Rockingham Speedway in these Xfinity cars. When does Michael Kenner come down to pit road? He is currently the race leader, but he can't stick around up there for long. He's got more to do. His inside, though. That's going to get risky. He can't pit now. He's going to have to wait. We continue to let these drivers circle around. There you see Michael Kenner, the number 1 on the track map. The number 20 is Matt Rucci, the current net race leader, all the way down in 20th place. But that doesn't sound right to me. I'm going to Oh, Matt Rucci was slapped with a speeding penalty. 30-second stop and hold. We'll see Rucci in the lane. So Rucci is, in fact, not the net race leader. It is now Spencer Ray, this driver right here, the number 8 on your screen. Now, Spencer Ray does have to unlap himself yet. Oh, Kenner looks at the inside and forces the issue on Justin Wilson. Kenner pitted on that latest stage break, and you can see he is not the first driver that has to come on down and in. He is with a bunch of drivers that have yet to stop, including Musati, Peterson, Brody Purcell, Noyes, and Justin Wilson. I think Kenner's going long on this one to see if he can force a yellow flag, or not force a yellow flag, but see if he can wait out a yellow flag. That would really be a good thing for him right now, because I can tell you right now, he is not going to be in the race lead for long if he doesn't come in soon. And sure enough, pity in for your race leader this time by. Musati picks up the torch. There goes Spencer Ray. Trouble back straightaway. There's the yellow flag. Jacob Noyes has been junked on the back straightaway. And the caution flag is out. Kyle Munson torn up with him. Caution is out for the third time this afternoon. We will take a look at how this one took place. Jake Noyes on the top shelf. Oh, he just lost it by himself. And slam crunch for Kyle Munson, who had nowhere to go to avoid that, slamming into the inside barrier. Man, that's such a shame for Munson. There was absolutely nothing he could have done in that situation, but he finds himself, as a result, being slammed into the inside wall. So Musati will be pitting in here. He'll take Peterson and all the other drivers that have not stopped yet in with him, I would imagine. Except for Michael Kenner, who I believe will actually cycle through to the race lead because of this. I can't believe it. Michael Kenner just got saved by the luckiest yellow flag I think you will possibly find out there. Well, we are under caution for the third time today. We will once again take a quick step back. We will be back with more in just a moment.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back to Rockingham Speedway. We are under 30 laps left to go. Michael Kenner still is your race leader. He did not come down under this latest yellow flag. And there are a lot of drivers here that are going to get waved around the iRacing pace car as a result of this one. Thankfully, they got all their laps back, but Michael Kenner has just been given a free promotion from podium to race leader. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do here, if they're going to end up delaying this restart to let the field catch up, because look at how many cars have to get around the pace car and catch up as a result. For reference, there you can see them all on your track maps down on the bottom right of your screens. Only the top 8 were up here with the field. Lights still off. That means we're still going this time by. At this point, I think it would be too late to delay it again. And they're going to let this one go. The field catches up just in time. Pace car pulls off, and Michael Kenner takes us back. This is about to get wild here as Peterson closes up to Musati out of turn number 2 down Thunder Alley. All the while, you got drivers jockeying for position behind, including Wilson and Hamilton in the fight for 9th. Sean Kaiser to the inside. He's going to make contact with the door of the Goodwrench 48. That lets Dingler snake up towards the inside. Kyle Green trying to defend against Matt Rucci, who throws it in. Rucci, by the way, is a lap down car, 3 wide with lap traffic. This is not what you want to see. Is anyone going to back out? Doesn't look like they will, so hang on. Out of turn number 4, Rucci up the bottom. Kyle Green is hit by Justin Wilson. They hang on, and Robert Peterson will look to the inside of the 48 now. 3 wide with lap traffic is never what you want to see. That was really, really dangerous, but I'm glad that we managed to find a way to get around that without resulting in a quick yellow. Tell you what, Justin Wilson is not having a fun time out there right now as he makes contact with Cordall just to prove the point out of turn number 4. He is struggling. He slams the outside wall, comes down, almost gets it to Barrett Morton. And I think will hang on as he thunders back down the straightaway, but he is now last place on the lead lap. Noise is playing with fire by getting that close up to the outside wall, especially knowing what it did to him earlier on this race. Colby Wells will continue to work the inside. Hamilton just kind of waiting around in the wings right behind. There's the look, there's the lunge. Straight out of the Logan Hamilton playbook, but wasn't able to make it work. So the Rooftop Bar Tools 45 hangs on to race another day. Meanwhile, Spencer Ray getting impatient, looks high, now looks low on Stefan Purcell. 19 laps to go, and Ray takes away 5th place from the 57 car. Grant Peterson is the rear gunner support here for the Badger Racing 1-2 duo of... Sorry, no, that's not a Badger Racing 1-2. I forgot. Matt Rucci is all the way back here. Michael Kenner is up in the race lead being attacked by Anthony Musati. And Nate Brody just wants to get up on the podium to get around Grant Peterson. Still no changes in any of the battles for position we've got throughout the field so far. There's a look at the top two as they run around turns 1 and 2 once more. I think realistically this is one of the closest battles at the moment between Hamilton and Wells for 8th. Got just a 10th.5 separating these two drivers as they try to close out to Jacob Noyes. Well, that was a clip to the wall there for Wells. A mistake, and he lunges down right across Hamilton's nose. You can't do that, not when you're not clear. You're only going to find yourself getting turned, and my goodness, that would be unfortunate for Colby Wells. He's already had so much not go his way throughout the season. You see Matt Rucci just in the wings there, but remember, he is not fighting for position here. He is a lapped car, and that means he has got to play his cards here very carefully. Wells breaks early, gives it up for Hamilton into turn number 1, and that will cause Wells to drop back into the clutches, potentially of Sean Kaiser if he can close on up any further. 10 laps to go, and the RD Designs 130 from the Rockingham Speedway. The All-American Motorsports crew has been putting on a strong performance so far today, but in particular, Sean Kaiser has been on fire. He has only been gaining position since the start of this race. Currently +4. He wants to make it 5. And the problem is just the inside lane this late in the race just isn't there, and that's what makes it so difficult to be able to properly execute an overtake, especially when you got a lapped car from the likes of Matt Rucci chomping at the bit. At the moment, Sean Kaiser is going to have to back out and just give that one up to Matt Rucci. He seems to want that position a little bit more than Kaiser wants to go after Wells, or at least has a much higher capability. And, hey, it might actually play out in his favor because if Matt Rucci can muscle Colby Wells out, he's got a high percentage here that he could be able to throw his way up the inside. Ryan Dingler trying to fend off Baron Morton. That's not going to go anywhere for now. We hit 6 laps to go. Musati still a quarter of a second off of Michael Kenner. Morton to the inside of Dingler. This is for 14th. And hangs on for the position. Dingler getting out of shape, though, out of 2. Noyes wants to knock Purcell down a notch. He'll shoot to the inside as Hamilton looks like he might want to find the middle. We're coming to 4 to go. Oh, Noyes gets out of shape, washes out, still out of control, down to the turn number 3. That's going to wash Hamilton up, and Hamilton gets moved up and into the outside wall to try to avoid Jacob Noyes. Hamilton now going to capitalize from that, though, and go to the inside of Purcell to go for the 6th place down to the turn 1. And contact between Hamilton and Purcell, but it's only slight. No harm, no foul. That's just racing. Sean Kaiser still waiting in the wings. He has let Matt Rucci by. And is now trying to fend off a charging Kyle Green. Brody washes up at 1 and 2. This is for 4th as Peterson will snake to the inside. All sorts of drivers making errors here in the final laps of the race. And speaking of final laps, Michael Kenner will take the white flag. So final lap for the Kenner Baker Racing High Point Mustang. Kenner has been absolutely on top of it ever since the restart. He got a very lucky caution, and that will translate to a race win. Michael Kenner wins the RD Designs 130. What an awesome race here from the Rockingham Speedway. That was exactly what you wanted to see as Spencer Ray and Justin Wilson collecting each other elsewhere on the racetrack. But what a way to get a win once again. Michael Kenner able to pull off one heck of a win thanks to a great pit call. He took a huge gamble to wait for that caution, and boy, did it ever come out at exactly the right opportunity for him to pick up a race win from the Rockingham Speedway. So as Kenner burns it down to the front straightaway, we'll take a look at your official post-race results. From your running of the RD Designs 130, Michael Kenner picks up the race win by over a second. Anthony Musati is down in second. Spencer Ray is third, with Grant Peterson in fourth. Nate Brody is fifth, with Logan Hamilton in sixth. Jacob Noyes is seventh. Purcell is eighth. Colby Wells will be ninth. Sean Kaiser is in 10th. Kyle Green will sit in 11th place, with Robert Peterson in 12th. Hunter Thrower was 13th. Baron Morton was 14th. Yeah, Kevin Cordall in 15th, Dingler 16th, Prenger 17th, Justin Wilson in 18th, Matt Wilson in 19th. Sorry, Matt Rucci in 19th. Kyle Munson was 20th, Carson Hill and Jonathan Baker rounding out once again your 22-car field from the Rockingham Speedway. What an awesome race for these drivers here tonight. It was a solid outing for all of these guys, and we will start by dialing up your race winner at the end of the night. Michael Kenner joins us up here in the broadcast booth. Michael, what a way to get a win. You made a risky pick call, but boy, did that ever pay off for you. Rocketed you to the front, and you were just in control from there to the end. How does it feel?
I mean, the caution that came out really played in my favor. I wasn't planning on that. I was banking on hopefully the tires just being so much better at the end that I would just fly by at the end. I'd have a pressure set, and at the end of the run with like 5 to go, I'd be able to get there and pass them. But the caution definitely played a big part in that win. Matt was easily the fastest car. Spencer was a really close second. Matt, I don't even think I was the third fastest. I think Masadi was faster, but I was lucky enough to get ahead of him early, and then caution played out, and I ended up just holding him off for the win. I mean, the win definitely should not be mine. It should be Matt's right now, but I'll take it.
And with this win, you become the first repeat winner of the third season of the OMSRL XFinity Series. With all of that in mind, does that only reaffirm the goal to potentially go for a championship at season's end?
Yeah, definitely. I know it's only a matter of time until Matt starts knocking these down and wins races, but I'll take as many wins as I can get until that time comes, and I want to try and build as big of a points lead till then so I could hopefully go win the championship. But it's going to be a tough ride and a tough championship to get.
And we obviously have the 1 week break from here, but when we return, it'll be back to 1.5 mile racing over at the Chicagoland Speedway. It's one of the more unique mile and a halves, given the fact that you're always turning to some degree at that track. Does that track play more to your strengths, or do you think that might be more of a challenge for you and your team?
I think I'm definitely more of a short track road course type guy, but mile and a halves aren't horrible for me. I think I'll probably be a top 5 car at Chicagoland, but hopefully I can underestimate myself like I have the last couple of weeks and be a lot faster than what I think I am and go and compete for a win. But I think I'll be a top 5 car, probably 5th place there.
Before I let you go then here, Michael, anybody you'd like to shout out for your Kenner Baker Racing number 98?
Brady, he wasn't able to make it, shout him out. Can't wait to see him back in the race. And then Jonathan, he tried making it, but just wasn't able to. Hopefully they can make it next race and challenge up front like they did at Charlotte.
Well, fingers crossed. Thank you for joining us tonight here, Michael. Congratulations on your second win of the season. We'll see you in 2 weeks in Chicago.
Yeah, see you in 2 weeks. Thank you.
That was Michael Kenner, your race winner here on the night. We will continue to move on down through the field, and we will now try to see if we cannot pick up the number 49 car of Anthony Musati joining us here from second place. Anthony, it was a bit of a tough race out there, it looked like, for you. You were first tracking Matt Rucci, staying true to the Rucci's shadow header you got on your driver banner, and then you seemed to be the Kenner shadow. What was going on there for you?
Just hard to pass. I mean, everybody was really close on speed, so it was either I lay back and try to save tires, or I try to attack, and I figured I'd try to push him, see if I could get him to make a mistake, but Kenner's good. He drove a good race.
Hey, you certainly drove a good race as well, just to find yourself up in second place. With the fact that you had about 4 or 5 different teams that were all up there scrapping for the win at some point or other throughout the race, does this maybe mean it will be challenging for Badger Racing to take a repeat on the team's championship?
I definitely think these guys are a lot more competitive this year, for sure. I mean, usually we're used to, dominating pretty good, but it seems like, either you got TI or you got other guys that are always finishing up there pretty close. So no, I think it'll be a good battle all season long.
And you look forward to the races remaining. You've got 5.
Not Mid Ohio. I'm terrible on road courses. If Indy is on the oval, which I think it is, I would have to say Indy. I like those fast, flatter tracks, so that's kind of the one I'm looking for right now.
All right, then. Well, we'll hopefully have you getting a solid run then at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Before I let you go, then here, Anthony, anybody you'd like to shout out for your Badger Racing number 49?
I'd like to shout out Badger Racing. Everybody in Badger Racing. Those guys, they push me to get better every week, and yeah, that's about it.
Well, thank you for joining us here tonight, then, Anthony. Congratulations on the second place. Best of luck in 2 weeks in Chicagoland.
Thanks, Nolan.
That was your second place finisher, Anthony Musati. We're going to talk to one final driver before we wrap things up tonight. It's the third place driver from All American Motorsports, Spencer Ray, joins us up here now. Spencer, again, for you, you were kind of all over the place tonight, but looks like more or less you were on the up and up. You found yourself right at the podium just about all night long. How does that third place feel?
I hate it.
Okay, wow, short and sweet.
One, and then they wrecked and had to restart 8th.
So it's safe to say then that it hasn't been necessarily a pleasing night for you. You definitely had the pace to get more, and where do you reckon you would have finished had that wreck not taken place?
I would have won by about 8 seconds.
That would actually factor in correctly, seeing as how Matt Rucci had gotten himself. I think it was a speeding penalty for him. Definitely would have been on the entry there. So it's a tough break for you overall, but third place, still nothing to shrug off. It could have been a lot worse for you, especially compared to how physical it got a bit deeper in the field. 2 weeks coming on up in Chicagoland. Do you reckon you'll be able to pick up a potential win there at the mile and a halfs?
I hope.
All right, so short answers tonight then from Spencer Ray. Before I let you go then here, anybody you'd like to shout out for your All-American Motorsports Go Spending number 6?
No.
All right, well, thank you for joining us up here anyway, Spencer. Tough luck today. Best of luck in 2 weeks.
Yep.
So some very choice words from Spencer Ray, clearly not terribly pleased with how his race went down tonight. He did have some good pace, but like I said, third place, still nothing to shrug off, especially when you take into account just how competitive this field was. That will just about wrap it on up then here from the RD Designs 130 from the Rockingham Speedway. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to join us here tonight. It's an off week next week, but we'll be back in action once more all the way through to the chase in 2 weeks in August over at the Chicagoland Speedway. We will see you all there at the Windy City 150.
There are moments that surprise and delight the mind and the senses. Introducing Sound Art, the world's first truly customizable, concealed, flat panel art speaker system. A revolutionary combination of incredible sound delivered from your most meaningful pictures. When art and technology intersect, there is a seamless blend of creativity and function.
Come alive in the streetlight, pulling at the stars in the moonlight. Every time I feel you close.
With Sound Art, anyone can print their own artwork or pick from numerous licensed artwork that we have. The possibilities are limitless. Enjoy beautiful and amazing sound throughout your home. The entire surface of your artwork generates incredibly robust sound. Sound Art is elegantly hidden behind a high-grade, textured canvas wrap, bringing together the best of sound and art. This innovative design allows for a truly invisible, high-fidelity sound experience without bulky speakers. For licensors and other businesses, we are capable of producing thousands of units per day.
We're using the highest quality materials to give you the best product available in the market. Everywhere you look, there's always art. What I like so much about Sound Art, that you could just pair it and play.
Ansia, your art never sounded so good.